Dave LaCalle with HeadGames Motorworks. Today, we are going to discuss a build for Wiseco Pistons. Check it out. Now, you're probably thinking, what is Wiseco Pistons going to use with a cylinder head? Well, we actually did a 4G63 for them quite a few years ago, and they use it for a dyno mule. Wiseco does a lot of testing, and they put stuff on the dyno, and they try to test as much power as they can and try to make sure that their stuff doesn't fail.
Hi, I'm Adam with Race Winning Brands R&D team. We're gearing up for a new parts development test with our 4G63 dyno mule. This cylinder head was originally prepared 2 years ago by Dave at HeadGames. It has about 450 dyno pulls on it currently, so we're going to send it back to him, and he's going to do any refresh that it may need, and he's also going to install copper O-rings around the combustion chambers for better sealing. We're going to be over the 1,000 horsepower level with the turbocharger that we have.
So let's inspect the head and see what we have. So quite a few years ago, we did our CNC port, and we did bronze guides, and we did a stock size valve, GSC, power division, intake and exhaust valves, and their conical 5078 high pressure spring kit. I present you with a beautifully lubricated cam journal. I mean, this thing is awesome. This is when you know things are running right, that have no bearing issues and no launch issues and oil starvation and gasoline issues. You can see the cam journals are just like, you can see that you can't even feel that. It's just like a line in it. These two, like you can't actually feel anything. Like can't feel it with my finger, but it looks great. This will just polish out. And I think this end of the head, there's really not much to talk about. So let's check this out. Now, you can tell that they used a small washer, and the small washer left a big indentation. What happens here is the head's lifting, and when it lifts, it's going to dig into the cylinder head. You're going to lose tension, you lose pressure, and then you blow a head gasket. Now, they did not blow a head gasket on this. Everything has been good, but since it's been digging in, I think it's time, and it's actually already been machined for the 1-inch washer. So we make a modification where you can use the washer. It's a really big 1-inch washer, and it would take up this entire circumference. So what we'll do is we'll machine this back down, make it flat again, and then they can use that 1-inch washer and be good to go. So the premise behind using a larger washer is going to dissipate the pressure along a larger area, and then you don't have to worry about that little washer getting pushed up. It's a very large washer, and you use a bigger nut, and you just never have that problem. Valve seats look freaking amazing. I don't really see any kind of issues. Everything looks like it was somewhat sealing. I think a couple of these look a little suspect. We'll have to look at the valve, but for most part, for the power it's been making, for the years it's been making, the beating that it gets, I just don't really see any kind of issues standing right out. So we got a straight edge here. Because I've seen all that stuff on the top part, I just want to make sure that the head is straight. Now this is a 1,000th, so it's about a little bit smaller than a human hair, 1/1000 smaller than human hair. You can tell this thing is totally straight. We don't have any problems there either. So Toby just made me realize that there's actually different thicknesses for human hair. I did not know this. Just have to ask the hairdresser, but maybe I'll have to find another analogy. All right, so take a look at the valve springs, titanium retainers. You see zero wear anywhere. I love when I see this. Guys talk about how titanium is going to wear faster. Now, don't get me wrong, this thing doesn't see miles. It just sees a lot of hard pulls. That's the only thing it sees. But everything looks good here. You don't see any reason. Now, this is when you can tell that the combination is just correct because everything is happy. Just for clarification, this thing is not going on the car and on a chassis dyno. This is going on the engine, and it's on the engine dyno, and that's how they test stuff. Let's talk about some valves here. The condition of the valves, you'll see on the top here, I see 0 valve float. 0. guys always see me talking about valve float. I show it a lot because it happens a lot. And this thing is just so happy. You can see here on the 45, everything is in shape on the intake side. And I couldn't be happier. The valve looks really, really good. And these valves aren't exactly cleaned. And they look great. I can't really complain. All of the valves, all the intake valves look like this. Now, let's take a look at the exhaust valve. Now, I had a couple here I wanted to point out. Here you go. So, you're noticing, again, you don't see any kind of float action going on, but you see that there is some heat going up. And this is pretty normal for anything that's going to have any kind of power. We're probably upwards of 60, 70 pounds of boost. And this is what you're going to see. You're going to see heat kind of coming up here because it's still on gasoline. And the valve itself, though, looks great. Now, there's like a little ridge here. And that's to be expected. I mean, the thing makes some jam. It probably has some back pressure, and it's floating the valve a little bit, but nothing crazy that you can see here. They're all very, very consistent, and that's another thing you need to look for. Consistency is king. That means that everything is working the way it should if they're all very consistent. Now this one is kind of black. It looks different than all the rest of them. And this one is number 5. I still see as much heat up here, and I also see a lot of soot all around here. I don't think it's totally a bad thing, but for whatever reason, this one just doesn't look the same. Also notice on the stem, look how good the stem looks. You see like a little bit of marks here, but you can't feel anything. Everything is just working so well. I really couldn't be happier for something that really gets beat on so badly, and it really doesn't have any wear. That's the kind of stuff that I love to see when it comes back. We can kind of just put it right back together, just freshen it up, put it right back together because it's ready for more power. So normally we would check this with a gauge, but we usually, what we do is we'll just stick a valve in a guide and do the wiggle test. Because if the wiggle is wiggly, then we want to know how much it's wiggling because we want to know how much it's wearing. And here's a bronze guide, and it feels just like the day we did it. I mean, this thing, no wiggle at all. You got maybe like a little bit over 1,000's worth of clearance here, and everything is just hunky-dory. So the head got milled, and well, I got valve jobbed, the valves got cleaned up, the parts got checked, everything looked good, but we also added an O-ring. Now, we added a copper O-ring, and we use copper because honestly, I feel like this is a whole theory thing, but we're going to use an MLS gasket, and I think the copper will crush compared to a steel. When you use a steel, I think it's going to mush the gasket versus crush against the gasket. So I feel like this will seal much better. We have used it quite a few times on GTR heads. We run a lot more boost than we're going to run here. Well, probably actually the same amount of boost that we're going to run here, maybe 50, 60 pounds, and it's ready for 1,400 horsepower. I'm just going to let the guys over at Wiseco take over this video and show you what they're doing. Talk to you soon.